Hey guys, I just wanted to tell you that everything after this intro contains spoilers. If you want to just listen to the end credit stuff and our prediction and what's going to happen next in the universe, that's at minute 47. I just wanted to tell you that we're also playing video games, Rainbow Six Siege, in this video. It's just about two guys hanging out, talking about things, and that's our podcast. If you want to just know about if we like the movie and if it was good, all that's right after this. Hey guys, this is the Kevin and King podcast, and today we're going to review Spider-Man Far From Home. So King, did you like the movie?
Yeah, I liked it quite a bit.
Okay,
I went into it before I saw Homecoming, and then afterwards I went home and watched Homecoming.
Okay.
And liked them both.
Which one did you like better?
I think maybe Far From Home.
Okay, me too. So I liked the movie a lot. I thought it had oh my god, I just jumped the drum. I thought it had a lot of really good things. I think that it's probably the second best Spider-Man movie ever made. That's behind
After Spider-Man 2?
Yeah, after Spider-Man 2, because Spider-Man 2 had everything. It had the train scene, you know. He saved the city, everybody's against him and everything, and that it's kind of split, and then the train scene happens, they Jesus carry him, and then they say, we'll keep your
Careful,
secret.
he's a hero.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that is a really sweet moment.
And then they do the amazing Doc Ock stuff and everything in it. So, like, the villain's good in it and everything, and the same thing happens in this movie. It's just lacking a little bit because I think it's missing, like, the superhero, like, full superhero thing of saving the city and everybody counting on him.
Hostile activity. Resume securing the container once the threat is neutralized.
But yeah. So
Stop securing the container.
let's go into the start of the movie. What did you feel? How did you feel about just how it opened up and kind of going into talking about the blip and how the kids kind of meshed during the beginning?
Before that, was the first thing in Mexico with Nick Fury and Maria Hill, or is that after the initial thing with the was it the Whitney Houston singing and the super cringy, awkward tribute? Which came first? Because I want to say it was the Mexico scene, and then they cut to the Marvel logo, and then it has the.
Yeah, that's definitely right, because they did the scene to where they were talking. The kids were like announcing and stuff. So yeah, it was the Mysterio thing and everything first.
Okay, yeah, that felt kind of weird to me. I don't know, like the dialogue seemed kind of odd, and it's just like after everything they've been through, that's where Maria Hill's gonna be like, I don't even know why we're out here. Which, I mean, you find out later, makes sense, but like, it felt weird while watching it, just because it was like, Maria, a cloud with a face in it is definitely not the weirdest shit you guys have seen. But she's just like, I don't know why we're out here. It's just a storm. Blah, blah, blah. And then Mysterio shows up.
I think that's
like.
But I think
like when you get to the mid-credit scene, it totally makes sense. But I guess that was the end credit scene. But at the time, it was just like, I don't know. It just felt out of character, which again makes sense.
Yeah, I think maybe
later on
they were trying to like tip us off at the beginning to be like, why would Nick Fury and everything believe in that? Yeah.
Yeah, Nick Fury does a lot of weird shit in that movie that ends up making a lot more sense at the end.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't have a problem with. Well, okay, I do agree with you. It was weird. I had a problem with how quick Fury kind of trusted him. Like that was really odd, because it's Fury. He if he didn't.
He hasn't
know
trusted
that I
anybody
was
since he
there.
lost
Yeah.
his eye.
So
Yeah.
5 seconds.
that was just odd. So I definitely agree. But looking back on it, it makes a lot more
Op 4
sense.
has located the
That it
biohazard
wasn't
container.
Fury.
And then they do that, like, I mean, it felt really weird to hear Whitney Houston anyway, like, just seemed like an odd choice of song. And then it starts going through the pictures of Tony Stark and Captain America, and it all feels really weird and low budget. And then you get to the picture of Vision, and Vision's like 480p or like some low res shit. And then it cuts to the kids, and it's like, oh, this is the kids doing this. Like, this is the same kind of shit I did in high school, like broadcasting on the TV. So
Yeah.
that made me like pretty happy. Holy shit, none of us are downstairs.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. Once they showed that it was kids and everything, because I was like, wow, this is weird. But once they showed it was kids, I was like, oh, this makes total sense.
Yeah, great bait and switch.
Yeah, I thought they did really well with that.
And then let's see. So they plan out, or they start talking about their trip and like what Peter Parker's plan is for MJ.
Yeah, and that's how they also like right there at the beginning when after the Marvel credits come and everything, and then it goes to the two broadcast people. That's where they explain the blip and what's happened and how the kids are still in all school together.
It feels really weird calling it the blip.
Yeah, that name is a little weird, but I don't mind.
Which was fine when the kids were talking about it, but then like adults were also calling it the blip, and it's just like, I thought we all called it the snap. Like, is that just me being on the internet too much and thinking that was legit?
And I don't think they knew. I don't think those people knew that Thanos he had to do was just snap. So I think that's why it's kind of weird and off like that.
1 Op 4
I don't know.
remaining.
But I thought that footage of the band disappearing and then the band coming back in the middle of basketball practice or a basketball game and just getting decked by people running into materializing people, I thought that was pretty solid.
Yeah, I liked everything.
Except I think it happened at the wrong time of day, because it felt like that was during the daytime. But the snapback should have been at night, wasn't it? Like, didn't the final battle in Endgame take place at night? I don't know. It could have just been the lighting. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But Peter goes through his plan of like wanting to tell MJ how he feels about him. But like watching Homecoming afterwards, it just like, where was that? Is it just presumed that after he got back from the snap, now he was totally into MJ, or?
Well, I think it kind of shows that he was into MJ, like right there at the end of Homecoming, and then I think the relationship kind of evolves a little bit as it goes through.
I did like the way the relationship panned out in this movie.
Yeah, me too.
Like all those kind of beats felt very high school, but also sincere.
Yeah, I definitely liked how most of it they tried to keep it like a teenage John Hughes funny comedy drama. And then and then when they wanted to do the superhero part, they made sure it was the superhero stuff. I thought that was done well.
Also, I checked out the cast. All the main cast, like Peter, Flash, MJ, Ned, all of them were born in 1996, so they're like 22 years old. So they still look like young kids. And then you've got this, what's his name? Brad Davis, played by Remy Hill. And Remy Hill is 32 years old.
Yeah, well, he's supposed to be way older than them anyway. Right? Is that who we're talking about? I can't remember that kid's name.
The other guy going for MJ.
Yeah. I mean, he's supposed to look way older, so I guess because he's 32, it makes a little sense. Um,
Uh, was he not snapped?
no, he wasn't. Or
Then why the fuck was he still in high school?
I said, I can't. I don't remember. I don't think he was snapped
Yeah,
because
I
he would have had to be for him to get older. Or did they say he was snapped and then he grew like up 5 years or something like that? Because it said the same thing.
Yeah,
with... I can't remember.
Secure the container.
yeah, I don't know. That part was weird. Oh, and then Angori Rice, who played Betty Brant, the blonde
Container once the threat is
who did the
neutralized. Op 4
video
last
stuff in
operator.
school. She's only I think 18, but the first movie I remember seeing her in was a movie called The Nice Guys, which was an awesome buddy cop movie and made with Ryan Gosling and oh shit, what's his name? Russell Crowe. But she played Ryan Gosling's daughter, and she nailed that role. So it was really nice to see her again. And I thought it was a fun choice making her and Ned like get together and break up over the course of that trip,
Yeah.
and also like get way too into it with all the like babe, like I miss you, and they're like sitting right next to each other. It's all that like. It's that high school relationship you hate to watch somebody else be in because it's just like, dude, fuck off.
Yeah, I thought that was all hilarious. And I totally called that they were going to break up at the end. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
saw that,
yeah.
I was like, oh,
I
they're
think
gonna break up.
I think everyone knew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
just like, all right, well, that's clearly not happening after they get back.
yeah, and it made for some super quick, witty comedy scenes, comedic scenes that happened throughout the movie that I thought they did really well. Like when Peter puts on Edith and he looks over and she says the text messages say I miss you and I miss you more, and they're sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just like, oh, I fucking hate you too, but
Yeah.
but I also get it.
But getting back into
But,
the beginning, the whole beginning of the movie, like I think it was like the first 20, 30 minutes. There was no like superhero stuff. There was no fighting or anything like that. They kind of just built on all of the kids' relationships and stuff, and I really liked seeing that.
Yeah.
I'm glad it didn't just throw us into a superhero movie really quick, like Peter saving people again or doing anything like that. It's just he was
Well,
there.
actually, that's the thing is before he leaves New York, he like in the trailers, he's got this action scene where he takes down the mob in a restaurant,
Yeah.
and then like has some jokes with the cops where he's like, all right, I'm just kidding, but you guys gotta do your jobs because I'm gonna be gone for the summer, so and they cut all that out. Apparently, like they just wanted to get them to Europe as fast as possible, so they're taking all that like Peter's to-do list and making it a short movie that'll be on the Blu-ray.
Oh.
So I'm curious to see how fleshed out that is besides just the shit you see in the trailer. But
Yeah, because the passport thing and all that, that would be pretty funny. I thought maybe they should have
Secure the
Right.
room.
added
Need
it
to
into the
protect
movie and did like a
biohazard
little,
container.
like 2 or 3 minute montage of it.
yeah, I think they just wanted to get Peter
Op 4
to
drone has found the biohazard
Europe,
container.
so like the meat of the story could happen as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But it did kind of feel like it was lacking like a Spider-Man scene early on.
Yeah, I mean they
Like,
did the thing with
I did-
Happy and Aunt May and everything at the beginning to
10
where
seconds remaining.
he's kind of depressed thing and shows that he's still struggling with the blip. But other than
5
that, he
seconds.
doesn't do any like neighborhood Spider-Man and stuff.
Protect the
Yeah.
biohazard container at all costs.
Yeah. So anyways, they get to Venice, and Peter starts enacting his plan where he buys the Black Dahlia. And I don't remember anywhere in Homecoming where MJ like is as dark. I mean, I guess a little bit, but like never with like the murder like fascination. Like she's into true crime.
Yeah, it kind of
Totally
seemed.
legit hobby. I like.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like because they made her like super sarcastic and stuff in the in Homecoming that just makes you into true crime and death and everything.
Location has been compromised.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I like.
She did have one scene where they're at the Washington Monument in the first movie, where she's like, "Oh yeah, I just wanted to look at something built by slaves," and the teacher's like, "Washington Monument wasn't built by slaves," and then he looks over at the security guard and he goes,
Yeah, I think
So
he's
I guess she did always have it, but I don't know. It seems like they kind of ramped it up for the sequel, which I'm okay with. It just wasn't really expecting it.
Yeah, and I totally. So I loved what they did with MJ in both movies because they totally changed her from what she was in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies to what she is now.
Yeah.
Completely
Kirsten
different
Dunst.
person. Yeah.
Right. The only thing I didn't like about it is that reveal at the end of the movie. It kind of felt like the scene in Dark Knight Rises where they're like, "Oh, you should go by your given name, Robin." It's just like, really, guys?
Yeah.
Really? Like that was the best way you could do that.
I think they were like,
but,
how do we make this girl have the name MJ or something like that, and not because they were totally
it feels
changing.
like they never say her name prior to that.
They
But
don't.
I guess her name was Michelle something.
Yeah, I think so. But I think they do that because everybody was so used to the Kirsten Dunst look that they had to figure out a way to just like really quick be like, oh, this is Mary Jane, and she's not a redhead or anything anymore.
I think the smart thing to do would be in the next movie, hopefully takes place after high school, and
That's kind of
and
what,
she uses Mary Jane as her stage name when she's an actress.
yeah, that's kind of
Like
what
that way they still have the Mary Jane.
we'll get
Protect the
to
biohazard container.
that like a little bit later when we talk at the end because I have some
Take out the hostile.
thoughts about all the revealed stuff.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so they get to Venice. They get attacked by a water monster, and
You have entered an enemy control area.
Mysterio swoops in and
Op
saves the
4
day.
eliminated. Mission
Yeah.
successful.
And Spider-Man does some really cool like jumping and other stuff. It didn't actually seem like I liked the coordination and stuff of what Spider-Man was doing and him getting hit in the head with the bell twice. I thought that was really funny. But what I really didn't like about that is that this is a Spider-Man that just went through Endgame, that just fought Thanos, that just did all this amazing things and became like a better hero, and then he goes through all that and is kind of like still goofy and ditzy and trying to find his feet. I kind of didn't like that.
To be fair, like, what the fuck is he supposed to do against embodied water? Because
Yeah.
I mean, you can't wrap up water in a web.
Yeah,
I mean, actually, real spiders can, but we don't
Yeah.
need to get into that.
But I'm not even talking about like
You need to locate the biohazard
like
container.
him trying to fight it. Like obviously he was trying to help Mysterio and get him to you get Mysterio to do that and keep people safe and keep other things from happening. But it just felt like he was kind of clumsy and he didn't go through all that like major fighting and stuff.
Good work.
Like all the coordination with all the
Well-
other heroes. I don't know.
Well, he's been snapped for 5 years, and I don't really know like what they can actually do in that other universe because they don't seem to age for the most part. And
5 seconds.
like, were they in stasis?
I'm not sure.
Biohazard container located. Proceed to its location.
So
I
I
know.
mean, like probably got kind of like either mental or physical atrophy from it. And then also like he was always pretty clumsy before anyway, including in both Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah,
Is he to the right or the left?
He was to the right. I just kind of felt like he would have been more of a veteran at that point because Civil War, he had his own movie, he was in Infinity War, and then he was in Endgame. Kind of felt like he should grow, which he did at the end with all the fighting and how he got his Peter Tingle back and everything.
I really don't like that they call it that.
But I think that's
Just
the point.
like,
It's supposed to be really weird. It's supposed to be cringy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get into that.
No, I get it, but
Mysterio does all the water thing, elementals, and then why can't I remember his name? It's Samuel L. Jackson's character Fury shoots Ned.
Nick Fury.
Yeah, Nick Fury shoots him, and then talks to SpiderMan. He meets.
Well, he darts him.
And then he meets Mysterio, and you kind of start to see that Peter kind of wants Mysterio to be his new mentor type thing. Like,
Yeah,
that's kinda
he's
what I
just
got
desperate
right
for a father figure because his real dad, his uncle, and now Tony are all dead.
off. Yeah.
Shit came up behind me.
Which, and at the beginning, like that scene, and even through all of it until it's revealed that he's bad. I liked how Jake Gyllenhaal did Mysterio and like kind of how he talked and everything. I thought that was a good relationship and a way to like kind of show that Peter was still a kid and stuff.
And even though we know Mysterio is a bad guy and therefore like he's probably going to turn at some point, it does feel super devastating for Peter when he does.
Yeah, and they almost had me with the multiverse thing because I think I wanted the multiverse stuff so bad that...
See, I was expecting more of a halfway. I was expecting like a multiverse to exist, but Mysterio just using that as a cover to pull whatever bullshit scheme he was pulling, which was, wow, that's a scheme.
Yeah, I kind of thought that too, and I know I think I wanted it so bad that at the beginning I was like, oh, he might be good in this, and then as it went on and how he started like talking to Peter and stuff, I was like, oh, he's still bad.
We need to protect the biohazard
Yeah.
container.
So we do the Fury thing. They all meet again. You know, he
I like how Fury's just having none of it. He's like, lose the hood. They're like, everyone knows who you are, so you're just given the illusion of anonymity and just breathing through spandex for no reason.
Yeah.
So he's just like, oh shit.
Yeah, and then.
But yeah, I really like the Jake Gyllenhaal character. Like,
Yeah.
and like, even though I knew it was coming, I really didn't want him to turn. Like, I was just like, oh no.
Yeah, me either. I thought it would have been really cool to see him as like a hero. And I hope
Yeah.
he's not. I hope he's not actually dead because I would like Jake Gyllenhaal to come back in the, later on somehow in the movies. But you never know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It really would be nice for Marvel to quit killing off every fucking villain. Like, I think we got, like, the fake Mandarin and... Oh, hello. But, like, we've lost so many villains, and most of them, like, fine, get rid of them, who gives a shit. But, like, losing Killmonger and Claw was kind of rough, because they were both, like, super fun, and to lose them both in the same movie was harsh. And then,
Target located. Second floor.
shit. I downed, Blitz, but, Ash picked him up.
Okay. Yeah.
Target detected.
I don't know. All the killing of them, I'm not a big fan.
Well, it's just
of.
like, I'd like to see some villains return. Like, Scarecrow was in all three of the Dark Knight movies,
Oh,
and
still,
he was fun to watch in all three. But,
Where's he get shot from? Oh.
Marvel's just killing all of them.
Yeah.
Except for the Vulture, which I'm glad him and Scorpion aren't dead.
Well, I kind of feel like eventually they'll lead to what the Amazing Spider-Man 2 end wanted to do and bring all the
Yeah.
Vulture. And...
Thankfully, they're just doing it in a much better way, because, like,
Yeah.
the Hall of, like,
Op 4 is securing the
Hall of
container.
Villain Tech bullshit, man, that was just depressingly bad.
All friendlies were eliminated.
Yeah,
Mission failure.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 made me a little sad.
I never watched it. I just watched a couple clips from it and was just like, I get it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get back on topic. Where are we at now?
Okay, so Peter gets the Edith glasses
Edith.
from yeah, that's the Even After Death, I'm the Hero or whatever.
Yeah, I love the name. Great name. Totally a Tony Stark.
He does
name.
love his acronyms.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a Stark thing. So he gets those. Then let's see. Then they go to, like, their school trip gets switched to Prague instead of Paris. So everyone's bummed about that, but it forces Peter to actually be a hero because he doesn't really want to be. And I think that's part of the reason that he keeps, like, being kind of clumsy and bumbling is because his heart's just not in it.
Yeah, he kind of just wants to. He wants to be a kid, even though he, has this great power, but he doesn't want to take the responsibility for it just yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot to put on a 15-year-old who just wants to get his boner touched.
Yeah. And he just, basically died and lost another father figure and everything, so he's going through a lot, which makes sense. And, he's just this is probably like his first girlfriend or first girl that he likes. So it's all of
Well,
this
I mean,
is,
there was Liz before that, but she moved to Oregon for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
And secure it.
But I mean, like someone that he may actually really be in a relationship with and stuff. I don't know. A lot of this is a bunch of big moments in his life, and they're all coming at once.
Right.
So it
Yeah,
can
that's
get
a lot of
overwhelming.
heavy shit to put on a 15-year-old.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we go back and...
Alright, so Prague, they defeat the lava monster because Mysterio does his...
He sacrifices himself, basically.
I'm gonna do what I should have done. Yeah, well, I mean, sort of, except he didn't die, so...
Yeah, that should have been...
So, like...
Should have been your first...
Man, he... That one guy must have had a blast, doing that script, because, like, what a moment. Just like, I'm gonna do what I should have done last time.
Yeah.
Like, once you find out it's all a scheme, it's just like, oh man, like, all that cheese. But, yeah, but during the Prague fight, Peter rips off a piece of one of the robots that MG finds and therefore shows him that, like, check it out, it's a giant hologram. Oh, whoa, what's this mean?
Yeah.
So he figures it out, but it's too late. He's already given over the glasses to Mysterio, doing exactly what Mysterio wanted in his very convoluted scam that probably shouldn't have worked at any point, but it did.
Yeah.
Also, fuck this Brad dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Peter tries to
everyone's
kill him with
like
Edith. And then
yeah,
Brad
like,
tries to expose
Peter
it.
Peter fucked up a lot, like, with just his phrasing in this movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a teenager, and how he talks isn't like how Tony would talk.
Yeah, it's less. Well, I mean, Tony wouldn't do it because he knows the tech, but if, like, Tony didn't know the tech, you could totally see him pulling more of that shit. He just would have figured it out and fixed it quicker because he's Tony Stark.
Yeah.
But yeah, that reveal that like Quentin's working with every person that Tony Stark has ever fucked over, which is a lot of people because let's face it, it's a bit of a douche. Um, was really interesting. Was that actually the dude from Iron Man 1?
I'm not sure. I would assume that if he's still alive and everything, they would definitely bring him back. But if they did like a good job, but otherwise, otherwise, I don't. I mean, they could replace him just like they did with War Machine from the first Iron Man to the second, and nobody would even.
I mean, this is a lot easier than that.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. But no, like nobody even like said anything when that even happened. So.
Barricade the room. We need to protect the biohazard
Well, I
container.
mean, like, they were just like, huh, Rhodey got thinner and darker.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
But I mean, like, how are you gonna
Op 4
sneer
drone
at
has found
Don
the
Cheadle
biohazard
coming into the
container.
picture? Because that is a much better get than Terrence Howard, especially once you find out about his fucking stupid ass math.
Yeah.
We don't have time to get into it, but he tried to create teriology, which just yeah, like
10 seconds.
one times one doesn't equal one; it equals two. It's just
Yeah.
like I don't think you know how multiplication works, but we don't have time to get into that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Drone has
so
located the
prod
biohazard
thing,
reveal.
it reveals everyone who Tony Stark has fucked over is collaborating, and the entire thing was giant holograms.
Yeah,
Although
I-
that that lost me just a tiny bit of the movie. Like I verisimilitude, I was willing to just like shrug it off and be like, yeah, sure, that's how that works. But at the same time, it's just like, that's totally not how that works. Like, not even close.
I mean, it's supposed to be super high tech. It could totally be how it works.
No.
Yeah.
No, because, I mean, like, holograms don't become physical.
You will be detected. Spotted.
Well, yeah. Well, no, it's because they weren't physical. They were still the drones. Like they had the drones at that time that were
I know, but they were just always conveniently placed so that, like, things were touching.
yeah. It was supposed to be very coordinated, which. I mean, I can get it if Mysterio is supposed to be a genius and a supervillain, so he's supposed to have all that
Right.
planned. But the whole reveal and everything, I thought it was done well.
One op
I didn't
4
have
Yeah,
any
remaining.
problems with
I
it.
thought it was a good reveal.
Yeah. Then we move on from that.
Except it was weird seeing Jake Gyllenhaal dressed as, like, Steve Jobs behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I did like that he was mad about Tony using his, like, hologram tech to just, like, be a multi-million-dollar therapy session.
Yeah. What was Tony's like word for it?
One friendly operator remaining.
It's like a barf is what he used for it.
Yeah, he was like, he called it barf.
Yeah. I totally loved all that. I
It
thought
was
great.
something augmented reality, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
What's next? Oh, so reveal, everything happens, and then we kind of get into more of the villainous thing, what's happening. I can't remember anything that happened up until Peter and MJ.
Okay, so no, that's pretty much where we're at. MJ shows Peter the hologram stuff, and then Peter accidentally activates it, figuring out what's going on, and then
that's also we can't skip over. That's also when MJ kind of reveals that she knows he's Spider-Man.
yeah,
and he's like,
semi-deduces.
Yeah, and he's like, yes, I'm
Take
Spider-Man.
to secure the container.
Well, not initially, and then
Yeah.
he's just like,
Failed. All friendlies were
like he
eliminated.
realizes what else is going on. He's just like, oh fuck, yep, I'm a Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah, and then it goes into what I would think So it's skip. We go into all that. He tries to find Fury, And then the next scene I think is like probably it was like one of the most visually pleasing scenes in like a Marvel movie that I've seen in a while. I liked the Mysterio mind games with him and that Peter couldn't figure
Oh
it out.
man, yeah. Wait, are you talking about when they're quote unquote with Nick Fury
Yeah,
and he just starts hammering him with holograms?
yeah,
Man, like that'll snap your brain in half. And then to end it with Peter getting hit by a fucking bullet train is just like fuck. And he crawls up the side like with his fingers all bloody and everything. It was just what a brutal scene.
yeah. Thought it was very
Like
fitting
like in
for.
both movies, Peter like in both of the Spider-Man movies, Peter just gets the absolute shit kicked out of him.
Yeah, I think.
Like in the first one, Vulture drops a building on him.
Yeah.
And then in this one he gets hit by a bullet train and then like also has like a swarm of 1,000 drones coming to try
Yeah.
to kill him.
I think that's a very big theme
But that
with
scene
him, though.
that scene of yeah, I think it shows his resilience and also just his perseverance through um, adversity.
Yeah.
Uh, but so he finally gets a hold of Happy and Happy picks him up and they've got some really nice moments on that plane.
Oh,
And then Peter starts designing his own suit,
yeah.
which
Well,
was
that-
pretty cool.
Well, and
Except
that
for
whole
that
scene,
fucking Led Zeppelin line.
Well, I mean, you kind of had to do it because
Yeah.
of Tony and stuff, and just
It's
the original
it's
Iron Man.
it's very Peter.
Yeah, and like
No,
that
just the fact that like he's playing AC/DC and he's like, "Oh wow, I love Led Zeppelin." It's just
Yeah.
like
yeah,
that hurts.
yeah. But that whole scene kind of what I felt what they were doing with that is they were kind of handing over the mantle of the leader of the main character for the next phases
You need to protect
to
the
be
hostage. Secure the
Spider-Man
room.
at that point, and that that's kind of like christening the next phases. Spider-Man is most likely going to be a very influential and important part of the next phase to come, and that he's the one that we're going to be looking to for answers and for someone to be super selfless and to go through a lot. And that's kind of what
You
I
think
feel
so?
like. Yeah, that's what I felt like that scene was trying to do, is like giving the leadership to
10 seconds.
Peter.
5 seconds.
I don't know. I think it'll be kind of weird for Peter to be the one to
4 has located the hostage.
like
Prepare for
take it
combat.
over.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it will
like-
definitely be something he has to like grow into with the rest of the team and stuff. But I think that's kind of I feel that's kind of what they're going to, that's what they're doing.
Well, I'm trying to think of I'm trying to argue like who else possibly could it be, but I mean,
the
the
thing
Hulk
is-
maybe. I'm not sure if he's going to be Professor Hulk or if he's going to go back to being two personalities.
Even then, I don't find Bruce Banner or Professor Hulk or regular Hulk to be a leader like that.
True.
Thor
Cap's
already gave
Cap's
it up.
gone. Thor's going to be with the Guardians, if anything.
Yeah, and he gave up being like king and everything of Asgard, and basically saying, "Look, I don't want to lead. I want to help, but not like that's not what he's meant to do." Basically, the Captain. I mean, the only one that it could be is kind of like Captain Marvel, but she's never going to be. I don't think she'll ever be like a super influential part of the
Op 4 no longer
regular
has the hostage.
Avengers.
Hostage extracted. Mission failed.
Fuck, I didn't realize that happened. I think Captain Marvel's too much of a free spirit to like be a
Lead.
full-time leader.
Yeah. And then-
With Tony, Cap, and Black Widow all like essentially dead.
Yeah, and
For now, at least.
Ant-Man can't do it, and then
No.
even Falcon, even when he takes up the Captain America role, he can't do it. The only other option is Black Panther, which
or Bucky, and I don't see Bucky being the leader either.
Bucky's too much of like a rogue character.
T'Challa is a leader, so I could see him being like a partial leader, but I think he's just gonna be too busy with Wakanda shit that like he's not gonna want to. So yeah, I guess Spider-Man would probably be the choice, which is weird because he.
Well, I think they do.
I guess he's.
I think because there's something called like the Reserve Avengers and everything in the comics or in like animated series and stuff, and Spider-Man is the leader in that. So I feel like that's kind of what it's gonna be.
Yeah, but even then, I think that's like after he's been Spider-Man for like almost a decade.
Yeah, well, and I think, so we just got to get to the end, and then I can tell like all my theories about what's gonna happen next with all
sure.
this stuff.
So Peter's on his way to attack Mysterio. He's going to London. Mysterio's going to London to become the greatest hero with bullshit, and then also kill all of Peter's friends.
Yes. I mean, all the fighting, everything's good, and basically, nothing like crazy happens until, you know, Peter gets to the end and like gets Peter
taking out all the drones though is fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
like just him
all the
swinging all over the place and him getting the spider sense back.
Yeah.
Was a great bit of character growth.
Yeah, I think all
for
that's
Spider-Man.
great. And then the only other significant part that I saw in that was when they were all exchanging.
All right, 3 of them are in here.
When they were all exchanging truths or whatever, and Happy was like, "Oh, I'm in love with Spider-Man's hand."
Shit, both of them are in there. One's in that corner, one's in.
Yeah, but other than that, the whole fight scene coordinated great. It was amazing. Very happy with the action. Then you get to, I guess, the significant part of it is when Peter gets his body sense back, and Mysterio kind of hatches his plan to
Mysterio
expose him.
fucks up too.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Like,
well, I think Mysterio,
All friendlies have been
because he is a child, because Peter is a child, Mysterio underestimates him, and so at the end he feels like, oh, I can trick him again because he's a kid. I don't know, like he didn't know his powers or anything, or even how to like fight other superheroes.
Peter catching his arm and avoiding getting shot is such a like cool, like just that snap.
Yeah, and it's
he
very,
grabs it.
Even like just sitting there, it was super satisfying to watch because it shows that he ultimately beat Mysterio and that he's kind of a renewed Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
All
right, so at the end, MJ gets the Black Dahlia, but it's broken, but she likes it more because she's that kind of weird. And they kiss, which had to be kind of gross because Peter's face was a bit fucked up.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's nice. Like, and it really did kind of like, it felt like a very heartwarming moment to see him actually get the girl at the end, which, like, after decades of watching the hero get the girl, like, shit's kind of worn off. It's like power, but that one actually kind of got me. I was just like, oh shit, like yay.
yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with just Tom Holland in general. He makes you want to care about Spider-Man.
And I think Zendaya, or is it Zendaya or Zendaya? Zendaya. I think she's killing it. Like I really like her character. Like
Yeah, I think the whole cast of Spider-Man is wonderful. Like, all the friends, Flash, everybody, even the teachers, which we like, I know we didn't talk about them at all, but they were really funny. I can't remember what the other...
Yeah, JB Smoove and Mark something.
Yeah, they were brilliant, honestly.
I didn't write down his name. But yeah, like I think they're really fun to have as teachers, and I don't know what the fuck that one teacher's like whole fascination with witchcraft is, but
Yeah,
like
I thought it was great though.
it was fun little side
Friendly
characters.
operator remaining.
Yeah.
So like he gets the girl, obviously Ned and Betty's like that was obviously gonna happen. I really do like that Flash like isn't your typical like big jock bully. He's a rich kid douche bully.
Yeah, and they're kind of popping some scenes in to where, oh my, like Flash has real feelings and that he gets hurt and stuff. I think that's all.
Yeah. Also, in that airport scene when he's reunited with his driver because his mom couldn't bother to show up or whatever, was his hair and beard like way longer than the rest of the movie?
I don't know. I didn't. I wasn't looking at that super close, so I'm not sure. Definitely could be.
I don't know. Maybe I missed it, but that shit felt weird.
Yeah. We get all that. Then how does the movie actually end? Like the end?
Like the end of like the pre-credit stuff.
Yeah, the pre-credit stuff.
Let's see here. He goes back to New York. He meets up with Aunt May. He meets he goes on a date or he calls out that Happy and Aunt May are having a fling, and then he goes to meet MJ and he takes her for a like spin through the city, which she's not super on board with after.
Yeah.
And then we get to the mid-credit scene, which I think this is hilarious. Like, for one, they brought back J. Jonah Jameson, played by oh god, I can't think of his name right now. I know it. What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? It's on oh, there it is. J.K. Simmons, who absolutely killed it in the Tobey Maguire trilogy, and everyone's been clamoring to have him back. He comes back as like the Alex Jones version of J. Jonah Jameson. He's got a controversial website, and like he's still got his hate boner for Spider-Man. Just fuck yeah, dude! Like I'm so happy they did that.
Yeah, it's like he didn't miss a step in playing that character. It was completely perfect.
Yeah, all we lost was some hair, which he didn't have to begin with. They just said screw the wig. He can just be like short on the sides, nothing on top. It's just great seeing him again.
And I think that just that whole thing and how it played out. But I think that with them like revealing that and the mid-credit scenes is very significant in what we're going to see next in Spider-Man, and because I think it's going to kind of accelerate Spider-Man's timeline and kind of accelerate. He's not going to be that high school kid anymore. His identity is out there. They're going to kind of make him grow up. He's going to be in the kind of where Tobey Maguire started out in the first Spider-Man movie when he goes off to college and everything. I kind of feel like that's where we're going to be taken to next, and that's just a really significant time in Spider-Man's life. And
I think it's very wise if the next movie is no longer in high school, because like all the cast looks right now, but like we've already had 2 in high school, which is nice. I think it's time to move on though, especially if he's getting outed.
Yeah, I definitely think that they'll either graduate and then go off and everything, but it's going to kind of accelerate everything, every timeline, and every like possible way of what they're going to do with the rest of the Avengers stuff, because that kind of like, and that it also kind of supports my theory in he's the new Tony Stark, he's the new leader, because everybody knew who Tony Stark was.
Yeah, I kind of feel
He didn't have a
yeah,
secret
like Tony
identity.
acted himself, and so at the end of the first Spider-Man, when Tony like gives Peter that chance, Peter declines, which was like a nice bookend. But now he's forced out anyway.
Yeah, and
Uh,
it's kind of letting, but at the same time, like this movie kind of let Peter choose that he's going to be that kind of character to always step up.
yeah, I'm curious to see if they are gonna go with a full-on like Peter Parker is definitely Spider-Man, or if they're gonna like get Nick Fury to pull some strings, or people are just gonna brush it off because it's coming from the Daily Bugle, and the Daily Bugle is not as reputable as it has been in past versions.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what's next. As soon as they did that, it made me really happy because I like Spider-Man in high school and everything, but my favorite Spider-Man is when he is in that Tobey Maguire stage, going through all that. That's when I truly like Spider-Man. Um,
Yeah.
and then
Also, Tobey Maguire was like 28 in the first Spider-Man, and it felt real weird watching him chase that bus like he was like trying to get his kid his lunch on his way to school or something. It's just
yeah,
like, man, you guys are pretending all these dudes are even remotely close to high school age.
yeah. When I saw when we were
Protect the
looking
bombs.
up stuff about this after I saw the movie and things, and there was an article that popped up was like Tobey Maguire was a great Spider-Man, but he had an unfortunate face. So yeah,
Be advised,
Tobey
location has
Maguire had an unfortunate a lot of things, and at one point in the first movie, the guy who played Flash, Joe Magliano, or something like that, like one of the crew came up to him and was just like, "Hey, I'll give you $100 if you punch him in the face during your fight scene." And he was like, "I'm trying to continue working in this
down to 5 seconds.
industry, so I'm gonna have to pass." But I
Yeah.
get it, because apparently none of the crew liked Tobey Maguire.
yeah. I don't know. I thought he did a great Spider-Man especially in Spider-Man 2, after he.
Yeah, but I'm
kinda
also
grew
glad
into
he's
it.
done.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
definitely.
I'm glad he was done after 3.
I think Tom Holland is 100% the most pure Spider-Man and like the best one we could
Yeah.
ever ask for. But yeah, that just the whole outing scene and everything. I think spitting. I think it's great. It kind of changes. It kind of changes everything now. So and I'm happy for that. We need to see some change in the Marvel universe and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
it'll be interesting going forward.
Okay,
So then, the post-credit scene, Maria Hill and Nick Fury are driving in their car, and they morph into their actual Skrulls, which I don't remember who the woman is, but she's the Nick Fury Skrull, the actor's Ben Mendelsohn. I don't remember his name, but he was the one that Captain Marvel ended up like saving and reuniting with his wife, and
Yeah.
his wife was the one who played Maria Hill,
Yeah,
which
she was.
suddenly made everything make sense as far as like all their weird ass behavior.
Yeah, I thought it
They
was.
have a Twitch.
Like when they did that, I thought it was amazing. It was super funny, and it really did explain all the Fury stuff because it kind of feels like Fury lost a step and everything, and then it explains, oh, Fury maybe didn't lose a step, but then it shows after that
Fury
it
wasn't
shows him
Fury.
call, and then and then Fury's like in space at
One
some
op
weird
4 remaining.
place, and so I have some thoughts
Well,
about.
he's on the Skrull mothership. Which, by the way, the people in my theater were fucking mad about that scene.
Why?
I'm assuming they didn't watch Captain Marvel, like they're the casual viewers that only go for watch the movies of the heroes they really like. And so, like, all of a sudden, Nick Fury's a Skrull, and actual Nick Fury's just chilling on a spaceship bitching about his shoes.
Yeah.
But, like, there was one dude who, like, slapped the, who like slapped his armchairs and was just like, "What?" And like, I went out there completely satisfied. I was just like, "Yeah, that was
Yeah,
great."
I thought it like
Like I mostly get it, but not entirely. But like I get it enough that it's just like, "Ha, that's fun."
yeah, and you can kind of do a lot with that because how he acted and where he is. It, to me, it feels like maybe there's something emotionally and mentally wrong with Fury after the blip, and that would be like a totally new Fury that we haven't seen in a very long time. And
Hmm.
I'm kind of
I
hoping
think
it
he was
is
just. I think Fury was just like mad about
vacation.
everything that had happened and like everything he came back to post blip, and so he was just like, all right, I need some time away. Scroll, you owe me a favor. Just be me for a bit.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I can see that too, but I'm kind of hoping it's I'm hoping and thinking that it's hopefully a mental thing. And why is he? I mean, there could be many reasons. Like, why is he in space? Is he helping Captain Marvel with something? Did she ask him to be there, or is it just he needed a break and he asked the Skrulls
I
for a
th- I, th-
favor and stuff?
I think he just needed a break, but I mean, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, they'll definitely develop that as we go. And I kind of like that
Yeah.
they're keeping Fury as a constant through this whole thing. Obviously, he's going to still be a
Yeah.
big part of the next movies and everything. And I'm totally okay with that. I love seeing Samuel L. Jackson in the movies.
5 seconds before
So,
insertion.
kind of, it feels good.
Absolutely.
Found a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
Do you have
You have
anything else
located
to
a
say?
bomb.
No, I think we pretty much covered the whole thing as far as I'm wanting to.
Yeah, I
I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see the next step for Peter Parker, because there's a lot of avenues. Like they've left themselves a lot of openings to continue, which is good. Like it was satisfying, but it wasn't completely closed out.
yeah, definitely. They left a lot open for more Spider-Man stuff. They left a lot, or they did a lot for the new Marvel universe where they can expand and bring more heroes in or do other movies about some stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited to see what's happening next and how it's all going to pan out. Um,
I'm gonna die, but I killed two. There's somebody in the here.
okay. But yeah, I'm excited about all that. Where did it go? Oh, I'm gonna get interrogated. I'm excited about all that. Ready to see what comes next because this movie was a great setup. Other than that, thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see us like have a more deep dive into like a certain subject in Spider-Man or anything, or if we missed something, please comment. And thanks for if you actually watched this far. If me and King find something that we really care about inside of this Spider-Man thing and we want to take a deeper dive, we may do some other videos about it. But for right now, please like, comment, share, do anything. We need feedback, and thank you for listening. It means a lot.
Also, tell us what else you want us to want us to do, like
Oh,
what you want us
please.
to cover.
Because we don't want to just watch superhero movies. We're going to kind of expand out. I think we're going to watch Crawl will be our next movie that we kind of do a podcast review
Yeah, fucking creature features.
on. I watched the trailer and I'm actually decently excited about it. So
Dude, it's probably gonna be shit, but I am so excited for it.
yeah, but that'll be the next one. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. But until next time, we'll see you later. Thank you.
Bye bye.